Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. As you can tell from the title, this video is the first episode of this new mini-series I started. I announced it in my community post as well as on my Instagram page. On the 20th of February, I will be celebrating the first anniversary of my YouTube channel, and I wanted to make something special for you and to celebrate this time together. And I got this idea the other day when I really wanted to create something, but I had no inspiration whatsoever. I looked through my list of projects that I wanted to make. Sometimes when I get an idea, I write it down in a little notebook so I don't forget it. And I was reading this list over and over again, but none of the projects I had written down inspired me. I also wanted to find an idea to celebrate this year together. And I thought that instead of starting new projects, I could look back at my old projects that I made before starting my YouTube channel. So I got the idea of revisiting old projects. So for the first episode, I chose this tag. This was my first ever tag that I made. And I thought, because I'm revisiting old projects, I want to make this again. But of course, instead of making it in the exact same way, I'll probably use some new techniques and new mediums. So I grabbed this piece of black cardstock, is going to make my tag out of it, and I'm going to use a size of 20 by 10 centimeters. Okay, so our tag is ready. As you can tell on this original tag, I applied this texture paste with a stencil, and the paste that I use for this is this one. It's a coarse paste and it's white. This is a very nice paste to create grungy effects. And of course I'm going to use the same stencil. This is a stencil from Stamperia Lady Vagabond collection. And I'm going to apply my paste with this palette knife. The paste is almost dry, and that gave me the chance to rough up the edges with my scissors. And I also decided to add a little bit more of the paste on some of the edges to grunge up the project even more. So I'm going to wait a little bit more to let the paste dry completely. Okay, so the paste has dried completely. Now I will add color. What I did on the first tag is I completely covered my paste in some black acrylic paint, but this time I want to make this in both brown and black, so I don't want my paste to be all the same color. And I'll be adding some brown color with Distress Oxide Spray in Vintage Photo. I also got out walnut stain in a spray stain. I don't know what I'm going to use. I also got out my acrylic paint, so I'll start with this and then we'll see how it looks and go from there. Okay, now I will be adding the acrylic paint. I'm going to start with a lighter brown, and then maybe if I don't like it, I'll use a darker brown. And I just want to add it with a stiff brush. Yeah. Okay, so I have done my background, and this is where the fun part comes, that's how I call it, because I'm going to use some colors to make the background look even rustier. And the colors I'm going to use are two, mostly, um, and they're going to be this metallic bronze. It's a bit orangey, and it's perfect for the rusty effect. And also this color, which is a turquoise. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, these two colors are usually what I use to make the sort of oxidized rusty effect. And I'm pretty happy with my background. There is a good mixture of brown and black, And as you can see, after I applied the black, I also went in with that lighter brown to light up some areas that got a little bit too dark. What I like to do is use a lot of water with this. What I like to do is I don't wait for the paint to dry and I add the new color because I like when it mixes. So let's take a little bit of this. And this one I want really with a lot of water because it's quite a bright color. So I want to mix a lot of it. I like to add it like this to give the oxidized look. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with how my background looks. I want to add one last touch. I don't know if it's going to show up because the background is quite dark, and if it doesn't, that's fine. Sometimes when I make a rusty look, I like to add this ink. This is some dip pen ink. I have a funny story about this one. I used to use it all the time because it had the perfect shade of orange for rusty look. But after a while that I got it, it turned red. Yeah, it used to be orange. Now it's red. I don't know what happened. Might have been my fault, but I don't know. And now it's like all weird, but it still works. So let's try it. And I'll just splatter on it. Okay. I mean, even when it's red, it still gives a nice rusty look. And I like using these sorts of ink because I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but when it dries, especially when you dry it with the heat gun, it kind of bubbles. And even when it's completely dry, it stays a little bit textured, so it adds a nice layer of grunge. I also have the same ink in brown, and I think I wanted to add that one as well. And I want to give you a close-up of our background. I really love how this looks. It's definitely different from the first tag I made, but after all, that was my goal. This whole series is dedicated to taking old projects and giving them a new look. So I like that this is not the same. Okay, so the idea that I had for this tag is to make it a little bit St. Valentine's Day themed. And a while back, I had this paper, and I cut out this heart from it, and I wanted to put it in the center like this, and then maybe add some sentiments. It is a bit small compared to the tag, so maybe I will add some gears as well to make this a steampunk but also love tag. And what I did when I had this idea is I cut out the same heart in a bunch of scrap paper so I can stack them up and make it very dimensional. The only thing that I don't like about this heart is that you can see some of the bits of white paper behind it, so I have to find a way to sort of cover those up, but I really like this idea, so we'll probably put this heart in the center and add the gears as well. I've glued all the little hearts together and it got very thick, so I think that I don't need to cut more of that. Of course, you can see the white rim around the heart, and I'll probably add some ink or something to make it dark. Okay, I think we're done with our tag. The decoration is very simple, but when it comes to these heavily textured backgrounds, I like to keep it simple because I like the background to be visible. I don't want to cover it up too much. And yeah, this is how it looks completed. I really like how this looks. I'm very happy. And these are a bit long, but I don't mind. After all, it's grungy, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And this is the other tag, the original version. This is how they look side by side. Clearly different styles, but with a similar technique. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing to my channel, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for episode 2 of the Revisited series. Bye!